Hey everybody, Robin Hack here. I want to welcome you to my Wellness Wednesday. And last week I talked quite a bit about inflammation, and today I want to talk about gut health and also about food combination and how important that is. And the first thing I want you though to think about is, if your body is like your car, you put great gasoline in your car and water and oil, well, you wouldn't put sugar or salt in the gas tank and expect your car to run well, would you? So it's so important that you're putting the proper food in your body and the proper combination of the foods, because I want to talk about gut and your gut and how you need the digestive tract going at the proper speed, and so you can have the elimination happening. And so if you're not combining the right foods, you're not going to eliminate properly, and some things digest quicker than others. So I know all of you probably watching have heard about the gut-brain axis and how important that is. And science today is finding that your gut is controlling so much of your health. So did you know that 90% of your immune system is controlled by your gut? Did you know that your gut is in control of your hormones? So that is just phenomenal research that has been developed and found. That is why it's so important to have a healthy gut. So they're finding, and you can even do this research yourself on Google about how important it is to have a healthy gut, because it is linking now to so many different issues people are having, from depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, ADD, like I said, your immune system, your hormones, your autoimmune disease, cravings. Most people think it's all coming from the brain. Hey, Lori, thanks for watching. Most people think those things are coming from the brain. It's actually your gut. Your gut is your second brain. So it is so important to keep your gut healthy. And by eating the proper foods, taking proper supplements, which I can advise you on. But the anti-acid industry, how many people have acid reflux? How many people take Tums? It's probably $1 billion industry, the over-the-counter antacids. I've never taken one in my life, and I don't plan to, and neither should you. If you're eating properly, eating the right foods and the right combination of foods, your gut is going to be able to digest those foods, and you're going to feel great. If you have a happy gut, you have a happy mind. They're totally finding that. Schizophrenia, depression, like I said, is stemming from the gut, so much of it. So it's just so vital that you're eating healthy. We don't want to be, like I said, putting salt in your gas tank. How good would your car run? How good would sugar be in your gas tank? Well, in your gut, how good is processed food? How good is preservatives? Your body's like, what is that? So it's so important to eat whole foods. Now I want to talk about fruit. Everybody thinks fruit's great, and it is. I love fruit. But if you eat it at the wrong time or after certain foods, it's not going to be good for you, because it's going to sit, and I'll give you those tips. So you got to message me below for tips, because it won't be able to digest if you've eaten it after something. So you always want to eat fruit first thing in the morning and on an empty stomach. That's a tip, because food combination is key. So much of your food gets stuck in your gut and your intestines and doesn't get out. And what's that doing? Causing toxicity in your gut. Every day, we're bombarded, our gut is bombarded with toxicity from our environment, even from our water, from the food you're eating, from processed food, from pesticides. So really important to keep that gut healthy and keep that digestive tract flowing. The other thing, I want to congratulate some of the people that watched me last week. I know I've taken some of those tips and are following along and doing it, and I can't wait to hear your results. I think it's Kristen and Kathy and Margaret and a few others all texted me or messaged me that they are taking my tips and going to see how much difference it makes them feel. And I know it's going to make a huge difference. And once you do it for a week, you might be able to do it a second week, right? So please message me below for tips that I'll share with you about food combination this week. But I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a healthy gut. And your gut has millions of strands of bacteria, good bacteria, bad bacteria. You want to get rid of that bad bacteria because it wreaks havoc on the system. And like I said, your immune system, here we're getting into winter. Don't you want a strong immune system to fight off anybody else that's sick around you? I don't get sick, and I can be around sick people and I don't get sick because you have to keep your body strong. You got to keep your mind strong, for one thing, knowing you're not going to get sick. But that immune system is controlled 90% by your gut. And also hormones, look at all the problems with people these days with Hashimoto's and thyroid issues. 90% is stemming from the gut. So I cannot stress how important it is to keep a healthy gut. And I'm going to give you some tips today, if you message me below, on the right food combinations so you can keep the gut healthy, so you know what foods to eat, and what foods you can combine. Just like, Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving, and we cook these big meals and everything. But don't you get tired after you've eaten that big meal and all you want to do is sleep? Well, your body's using all its energy to digest that food. And so on a daily basis, if you're stressing out your body like that, it's going to zap your energy, zap your vitality. It's important to be eating healthy so you can have that vitality and have that energy. Food is supposed to be fuel for the body, right? To give you energy. And people think people consume so much food these days, it's crazy. And your body doesn't need that much food to be healthy and vibrant. And, I was just thinking, came to my mind, in Las Vegas, you go to these big casinos, and what's the biggest lines? At the buffets, because everybody can just load up on this food. So it's so important to know what you're eating and think of food as fueling your body and giving your body energy. That's why you eat, and I'm sure some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, she's crazy, I'm a foodie, I want to eat a lot, I want to go to restaurants. Well, that's great, but know what to eat and what to combine so your body can digest that great food properly and enjoy that food and taste how great it is. And combining is so important. So please message me below for my tips on food combining. And I read a book on this when I was, I think, not quite 20 years old, and it made a huge impact on my life ever since I followed the rules of that book. And it was called Fit for Life. And that was back, I don't want to age myself, but when I was almost 20 years old. So, but it's a phenomenal book, and it really brings home on how you can keep your body healthy by eating the right foods in the right combinations and not stressing out your gut and the digestive tract and, causing acid reflux and acid indigestion and bloating and constipation. Kids these days are just having terrible time with constipation and stomach issues because of our processed food, because preservatives, because of the toxicity in our environment and our water, like I said. So please message me below. I thank you so much for watching. If you didn't catch the beginning, really watch from the beginning so you can hear my tips and what I've talked about today. And I will be back next week, Wednesday, for Wellness Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.